Well guys, it's looking like we may be seeing the NBA return in late July at Orlando's Disney World. Now, Las Vegas was floated around as well. People were talking about having two sites for the teams to play in when the season starts up again. It seems now that the league favors one location for all teams to bunker down in so that we can actually finish the season and crown an NBA champion. And Disney World, with their 39 square miles, their sports facilities, and not to mention the fact that Disney owns one of the largest NBA broadcast partners in ESPN, makes Disney World the most qualified place to host the NBA. And I actually think this presents a unique opportunity for the NBA to finally try the 1-16 NBA playoff format, which many NBA fans do want. So before we jump into it, hit the like button and subscribe. It would be a big help to my channel, guys. Okay, so let's first touch on the NBA playing in Disney World. This thing might just work. All the NBA teams can bunker down and quarantine together in this massive and closed-off property. Disney can easily accommodate the league and give them all the comforts they need with their 20,000 hotel rooms, swimming pools and golf courses to entertain everyone in the league along with their families that they bring with them, as well as dining and staff to take care of them. This will essentially be a massive NBA campus roughly the size of San Francisco, where they can finish out their season as comfortably as possible while limiting outside exposure. Not really the worst place to be stuck in for a few months. And another reason why this may all work out is that the NBA will play at Disney's 220-acre ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, which contains 3 arenas that can host NBA games and are, catch this, broadcast ready, considering that Wide World of Sports has hosted AAU and college basketball tournaments for well over a decade. Now, it remains to be seen if the NBA will play out the rest of the regular season or just go directly into the playoffs. But there is one small problem, and that is money. NBA teams will fulfill their local deals if they play at least 70 games for the season, and most teams are about 6 games shy of achieving that goal. So my guess is that they will play out at least that many regular season games leading into the playoffs. The only funny thing about that is that all the crappy teams with absolutely nothing to play for will have to go to Disney World, do a training camp, and get in shape in order to play like 5 or 6 games that mean absolutely nothing. But hey, people want to get paid, and ultimately it's their job, right? The only thing that can complicate things is if a player or someone with the team wants to leave Disney World for whatever reason. That would put the whole thing at risk. Maybe they would need to put in a rule like, hey, you can leave. We're not going to keep you trapped in here. You can leave. But just know, you can't come back in. Seems harsh, but maybe that's what's necessary. And if a player does test positive, the teams will likely just treat the player like any other injured player, where said player sits out 3+ weeks. Now, in terms of them changing the playoff seeding, the NBA can totally jump on the opportunity and reseed the playoffs 1-16 and see how well it works out and how well the fans respond to it. Though, to be honest with you, I really don't think the NBA will experiment with the playoffs this season. But I think they should try it. One of the biggest arguments against the playoffs being seeded this way is that the travel would just be too much. Like if the Brooklyn Nets faced, let's say, the Lakers or the Clippers. For a 7-game series, flying across country may even damage the quality of their gameplay. But the NBA playoffs being in one location solves that problem, at least for this season. If the NBA seizes on this opportunity, they will actually be able to see how well the fans digest this. If the reception is overwhelmingly positive, it may give the league the information it needs going forward in terms of changing the NBA playoff seeding to 1-16 in future seasons. And if this brings even more interest from fans, it may still be cost conducive to shorten the season to, let's say, 66 games, where every team plays their division opponents 4 times apiece for a total of 16 games, and the rest of the 25 teams twice apiece for a grand total of 66 games. This way, all the teams will have similar competition on their way to their respective records and seeding. Even though it's less games, every game will mean much more and in turn garner more interest, which will ideally make the teams more money per game. The NBA told teams that a study it commissioned through a third-party company earlier last year showed that 60% of fans want a shorter season. Now, I know that a lot of money is at stake and that changing the schedule would put the players and owners at risk for losing money in the short term. But if every game means more, and in turn gets more fans to tune in, then it may work out financially in the long term. This is something Adam Silver and all the owners would need to hash out, of course. We may be a long ways away from actually achieving this, but changing the seating this season in Disney World may expedite that process. What do you guys think? Would you want to see the NBA change the playoff seeding 1 through 16 and reduce the number of games to 66 games? And how about experimenting with the playoff format this year? Let me know in the comments section, and of course, if you liked the video, hit that like button. I'm out.